Going on, guys? Chris here for part 5. I believe now we're at, I believe 5. I'm already, like I said in the last video, already losing track. I gotta start making like a tally or something of how many I've done so I can keep track. Just about halfway through the A's, I'm pretty sure. I hope so, at least. Um, yeah, most of these things, besides a few things sprinkled in, are pretty much gonna be, run-of-the-mill type stuff that you would probably know. Um, but whatever, it may be something that you have forgotten about, something, whatever it may be. I do want to shout out though that I just got this I think last week or 2 weeks ago, but I haven't worn it yet. My Heavy Metallurgy shirt, which is a really cool shirt. Ordered that off of the Bind Rune store. I believe you can get the link from Marty's channel. But yeah, I've shouted them out before. Great guys. I think he said that Rick from the Dreadful Minutes designed the shirt. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry to whoever might have designed the shirt, but I'm pretty sure that's what Marty had said in one of the videos. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out. The shirt's awesome, very comfortable. It's not one of those cheap, stiff shirts. It's pretty comfortable, pretty soft. But anyways, with that being said, cheap plug out of the way, I will now get into this stack that I have here. This is Alcoholizer, I believe is how you would say it. Alcoholizer. Drunk or Dead. Kind of, I mean, it's good. It's just, as you can imagine from the cover and the band name and the album, it's thrash metal. It's that weird kind of like college, humor, Municipal Waste type thrash. All the songs on here, let's see. Literally, there's a song called Thrash Metal on here. Drinking Till Death. Pay With Your Blood. I don't know, it's just kind of silly lyrics, silly song names. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I have to be in the right mood for it. If I ever feel like listening to that stuff, I'll usually just listen to Municipal Waste, honestly. Not to say that I don't love thrash metal, but that style, like that humor, college party type stuff, doesn't really float my boat too much. The Municipal Waste or Tankard really are the only two like in that style that I'll really ever reach for. But it's good stuff. There's really good solos on here, so if you're into thrash metal, I would check them out. And the next thing I got is All Hell with the Red Sect. This is like black thrash. This is like right up your alley if you're like a fan of like Toxic Holocaust or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of just your, typical blackened thrash metal. Really good stuff though. The next few are all from the same band. Again, this is something a little out of the norm for this channel, but I've got a few from the Allman Brothers band, which is like a, country-ish, classic rock type band. This is Eat a Peach. Hitting the Notes, which I believe is not a recent album, but I think it's a post-2000 album, which is actually pretty good. And this is like a compilation, Hell or High Water. Yeah, not my favorite band. There's a band that I could probably just get the greatest hits of, and I'd be fine with that. It's one of those bands that I filled up my catalog of, even though it's just 3, but, when I find something at my place, my local record place for the, in like the dollar bin, you can find a lot of old classic rock stuff in there all the time, so I'll just, if there's something by a band that even I don't necessarily like, for $1, it's like hard for me to say no, just to see if, even if there's one song on there that I like. You can't buy a single song on iTunes for less than $1 now, or for a long time it's been that way. So, if I see something on there for $1, I'll pick it up. Next I have All Pigs Must Die, and that's the name of the album, God is War. This is like grind metal mixed with, or grindcore rather, mixed with metalcore. It's pretty good stuff. It's featuring members from, I believe it's Trap Them and Converge and a couple other bands. Is it Hope Conspiracy, I think? Yeah, I'm pretty sure those three and maybe another one or two. Um, Good stuff. I don't really know what else I can say about it. If you're into like that, you can definitely tell there's like pieces of those bands in there. It's not it's like noisy. It's got a little bit of everything of each band in there. It's a little bit like when I say it's like grindcore mixed with metalcore, it's not like just straight up grind. Like it's not like that at all. There's moments of it. It's more of like a metalcore or like a just a noise kind of album. I don't know. It's really I don't know. It's a really good album. Anyways, the next two I got are from the same band, All Shall Perish, which is like a deathcore band. I'm sure you guys know about them. Probably don't care for them too much. It was one of the earlier bands I got into when I started getting into heavier stuff. It was like what was popular at the time when, you know, I knew of a couple kids in school that would listen to stuff like this. So I have Hate, Malice, Revenge, which is honestly like one of the earlier CDs I ever bought. This, you know, was back when I had probably only like less than 100. And then I've got This Is Where It Ends. I like it for what it is. I could see why people don't like it. There's not many bands in that style that I do like anymore. Um, you know, it's one of those, just have a soft spot in my heart for them. And then I have another band that you could say the same thing about, which is All That Remains. This is Overcome. This is when they started getting more into like the, you know, radio friendly type stuff. I mean, this is still kind of heavy, but this is when they started going into that direction of to be more just like radio metal. And this is them straight in that department. This is For We Are Many. It's good songs in here. I mean, I like radio rock and metal. Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just I know a lot of people like that's just when they turn bands, you know, off. Is when they start, you know, really gaining traction and for the wrong reasons or what some might consider the wrong reasons. And this is the order of things. You know, for what it is, I like it. You know, I don't play it all the time, but, you know, I don't mind it. Next, I've got let me, like, censor that little bit out. Altar of Perversion. I believe it's Naos. I'm not sure how you say it. It's some pretty cool black metal stuff. The songs in here are really long. I would have to imagine this is some sort of concept album. It's broken into 2 parts, even though I believe it's all in 1 disc. Oh no, it's 2 discs. Each song is like 10 minutes plus. But it's pretty cool. It keeps your attention. The next one, I thought I had almost the entire catalog for this band, but I guess I don't. I was looking at it, I'm like, it's just one of those bands that like I grew up with, and I might have just thought that I had them all. But I only have one, and that's Alter Bridge. One Day Remains. I like Alter Bridge a lot. I think Miles Kennedy has an amazing voice. I don't love his solo stuff that much. But this album got a lot of play back in the day. I'm a big wrestling fan. For anybody else out there who's a wrestling fan, Edge, who just recently came back a couple years ago, is now using a different song, but both of his last songs that he would come to the ring with have been Alter Bridge, and his song for the longest time was, I think it's pronounced Metalingus, I believe. That's how I first heard of Alter Bridge. And he was like my favorite wrestler growing up and kind of still is. So that's kind of how I got into them. But they're a really good band. The next one I have is, oh, not that one. I believe it's pronounced Alverge. I'm not sure. This is some interesting stuff. It's like not melodic. It's not atmospheric black metal. Like, I couldn't label with either one of those things, but it definitely has some low-key moments, and then obviously some moments of just, you know, traditional, you know, old school black metal type stuff. It's really good. This, like, what I think is like a harp on some of these songs. I don't know where this band is from. Most of the songs, besides one of them, are in another language. But this is really good stuff. The next I got releases by two releases by the same band. This is Amarok, I believe is how you would say it. Devoured, and I believe this is just a self-titled. They are not usually my cup of tea. They're like sludge metal meets funeral doom. It's very slow, which again is really not my forte for the most part. But they don't seem to do the typical, ride the same two notes for 20 minutes. They put enough in there that it really will hold you. Yeah, this is really good stuff, both of them. Specifically Devoured is a really good album. If you haven't listened to them, I would check it out. I think it came out, it's recent, 4 years ago. The next one I got is AM Conspiracy. It's self-titled, I believe. This is something I'm sure none of you have heard of. This was on some soundtrack of a game that I played as a kid. And for the longest time, I probably was looking for this album since I was a kid, before I could just pop on eBay on my phone and buy something. I'm talking when I was like 12, 13. And up until last year, I could never find it. It's just not that it's like expensive or rare, it's just that, excuse me, I just think the band was such a nothing band that it's just nobody would ever put it up to sell it. It's just like, 'cause who would have it? It's just like a typical mid-2000s post-grunge band, but it's a little darker, it's a little heavier. Some of the lyrics on here are like very depressing. This honestly, like I said, 15 years I was trying to find this thing, almost. This it came out in 2009, so right when it came out I was trying to find it. So yeah, almost 15 years, 13. Honestly, like, even if you're not usually into that style, I might check this one out if I were you. It's interesting. The singer's got a different type of voice. It's not like the usual post-grunge shit that you hear. While I do enjoy that, said shit, that's especially an especially good one. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they didn't stick around. I don't know what happened, if they went to form on other bands, or if now they're just working at your local hardware store. I have no idea, but nonetheless. And then I got the Amentia. I'm not sure how to say this, the album title. Acacius? Not sure. This stuff is odd. If you've never heard of this band, this is like on their website, or on their, on their Metal Archives, or whatever the hell that website is. I believe it labeled them as just straight up black metal or something like that. I don't know. I remember reading that the whatever they called this was not what I thought it was. This is like industrial. I believe that maybe it was what it was. Is they started off as a black metal band, like just traditional, and I think they changed their name to the Amentia. Anyways, I digress. It's like industrial black and death metal. It's an odd sounding album, but in a good way. I'm not an industrial metal fan for the most part, but this is some really good stuff. Some really weird noises going on in some of these songs. Yeah, I don't know. I would check this one out if you've never heard of it. It's I wasn't expecting to like it when I bought it, and I actually quite enjoy it a lot. Then I'll glance over these next two, because one is American Head Charge, The War of Art. It is what it is. And American Hi-Fi, again, don't look. Some pop punk shit. Then I've got Amencius, I believe is how you would say it, or yeah, Amencius. Alright guys, if there's a little gap in there, it's because my phone stopped recording for some reason. I don't know why. But I left off, I believe, when it stopped on Amencius Ascension. It's like progressive-ish black metal. I hesitate to call it progressive or really black metal for that matter, because it's kind of rides the line of a lot of different things, but it's not like your average, like, 20-minute wanking solo on the guitar, or, whatever. It's pretty good stuff. You know, don't be scared away if you're not a big fan of progressive music, because I'm really not either. But yeah, it's worth checking out. Then I got the Amity Affliction. What is the album title? Let the Ocean Take Me, maybe? I don't know. I can barely read it. It's pretty good. It's just metalcore. You know, I'm not gonna get into that because I know most of you don't care about that. But if you're a metalcore fan, you should probably know what Amity Affliction is. Next thing I got, and I wrote it down so I didn't butcher the name, even though I still will butcher the name. Watch Me. And Amnatsiba. Let's go with that. Emanatism. This is like if you take the cavernous sound that every old school death metal band is using and throw it on a blackened death metal band. This is what you got right here. This is amazing stuff. I'm a big fan of that type of sound. They lean more, I think, towards the black side. It's been a while since I listened to it, but I just remember it blowing my mind. Excuse me, when I heard it. That's definitely worth a listen right there. I would say if you take one thing from this video, I would check this one out. And the last thing I got is not by any means an unknown band. This is probably as known as you could get in the world of death metal, minus Cannibal Corpse or... yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is pretty much one of the more popular death metal bands. And when I say popular, I don't necessarily mean like amongst us, you know, who are really underground fans of all things metal. But as far as like mainstream, and that's Amon Amarth. And I only have a couple because I'm not the biggest fan of them. It's, you know, I do enjoy melodic death metal, but I really have to be in the mood for it. And this is One Cent from the Golden Hall. And I've got, what does that say? Surtur Rising? I'm not sure how you would actually pronounce that. And this one I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Jomsviking. Not know how to say that. But they're pretty good for what they are. I'm, like I said, not the biggest melodic death metal guy, but they're pretty good. They're a solid band. You should all know them. They seem like they're a really fun band live. I've seen videos of them. But anyways, that's all I got for you this time. Hopefully within like the next 2 or 3 parts, we'll be into B's. And then we only have, what, 24 letters of the alphabet left, you know? So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I got so much stuff, and I hope you are enjoying it because it's a big endeavor to go through all this stuff. The cool thing I find though is like when I pull a stack to get it ready for the next video I'm gonna make, I get to look through and I'm like, oh, I remember this, and some things that I forget about, you know, throw it on at work or, you know, in my headphones at home, and I'll just be like, you know, I get to remember some of these things I haven't listened to or pulled off the shelf in years sometimes. So thank you guys for requesting this, because honestly it's, you know, brought me a lot of, it's like I'm reacquainting myself with some of these albums. So yeah, that's all I got for you this time. If you like what you saw, let me know. If you didn't like what you saw, let me know. If I bore you to tears, I would love to know how I could not bore you to tears. But yeah, you know, anything you got, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you next time. See you later.